Hello students, I am Dr. Saroj Hole. So today I am going to start chapter 3 of paper 1, Fundamentals of Digital Electronics, in which sequential logic circuits we are going to study. The first ever recorded currency counting machine was invented in 1958 in the China, created by small time banker G. Tianxi. So it looks like this: the Godrej Swift Turbo Desktop Bundle Note Counting Machine. Now, introduction to flip-flops. The logic gates and arithmetic circuits have their outputs totally depend on the inputs, what we have studied in chapter 2. So, in these circuits, if the input changes, the output also changes. However, in a digital system, we require the circuits whose output once set should not unchanged, even if the input is changed. Such a device can be used to store the information in the form of binary number. The cross-coupled gates used to store the binary data are also known as flip-flops. So there are different types of flip-flops. Flip-flops are basic building blocks of the counters, shift registers and memory devices. Digital electronics is classified into combinational logic and sequential logic. In the previous unit, we have learned the concept of combinational logic circuit where the output depends upon the current inputs. Sequential logic output depends on current as well as past input. So we need memory elements such as flip-flops and latches. So the SR flip-flop. In this circuit diagram, SR flip-flop using transistor, there is a cross coupling of each collector to the opposite base. This cross coupling results in positive feedback. So Q1, Q2 are the transistor, R1, R2, RB1, RB2, RC1, RC2, these are the resistors. VCC is connected and Q1, Q bar are the outputs. So when S and R are both are 0, 0, Q is there is no change. When they are 0, 1, input is output is 1. So if S is 1, output is 1. If R is 1, output is 0. Or when S is 0, output is 0. When both are 1, 1, it is forbidden. Means you should not take care of the output. The circuit has the inputs S and R known as set and reset respectively and output Q and Q bar. The resistors are such that R1 is equal to R2, RC1 is equal to RC2 and RB1 is equal to RB2. So in case 1, S0 is 1, S is 1 and R is 0. By the application of high voltage to S input, since both Q1 Q2 are n-pin transistor, transistor Q1 goes into saturation. So its collector voltage becomes low. Hence base of Q2 will be low, which makes Q2 cut off and thus collector of Q2 remains at VCC or Q is equal to 1. Since collector of Q2 is connected to base of Q1, it will keep Q1 into saturation. That is state Q is 1, Q bar is 0 is permanently stored as long as S is 1 and R is 0. Hence such system are also known as latch. Now case 2, when S is 0 and R is 1. Due to R is equal to 1, transistors being NPN, Q2 goes into saturation, which makes collector of Q2 low, which drives Q1 to cut off, making Q is equal to 0 and Q bar is equal to 1. So in case 3, S is 0 in Y is R is 0. This means no trigger is applied. In this case, due to circuit imbalance, either Q1 becomes on or Q2 becomes on and other remains off. So even though collector resistors are same in practice, they are slightly different. For example, if RC1 is slightly smaller than RC2, Q1 conducts more than Q2. Collector voltage of Q1 decreases, which makes Q2 more off, increasing its collector voltage, which further increases base voltage of Q1. This is cumulative action, making Q1 on and Q2 off. Whereas when RC2 is slightly smaller than RC1, Q2 is made on. Thus, when S is equal to 0, R is equal to 0, either of the two transistors becomes on and there is no change in the state of the flip-flop. Case 4. When S is 1, R is 1. When trigger is applied to both the inputs simultaneously, then both the transistors try to become on and try to go into saturation, which make Q and Q bar low, but Q and Q bar must be opposite and hence user should not apply. S is equal to 1, R is equal to 1, which is not allowed or forbidden condition. Thus, in SR flip-flop, when S and R are different, output follows S input. The SR flip-flop can also be built using universal gates. NAND gate. So, we will see SR flip-flop using NAND gates. Flip-flops can be obtained using any type of the gates, but since NAND and NOR gates are universal gates, we will see the flip-flops using these gates. The SR flip-flop using NAND gates. There are four NAND gates, N1, N2, N3, N4. Q and Q bar are the outputs, SR are inputs. So again you will get this truth table and this is the gate. The circuit uses for NAND gates. N1 and N2 are two inputs, whereas N3 and N4 are used as inverter. It has two inputs S and R and two outputs Q and Q bar. The outputs are cross coupled, so the input to the input, that is known as a feedback. So this cross coupling or feedback is responsible for memory of the circuit, and that is a general feature of all flip-flop circuit. Since there are two inputs, there are four possible cases. S is 0, R is 1. The output of N3 is 1 and output of N4 is 0, where whatever may be the initial input of output of N2, one input is 0, so Q bar is 1, and for N1 both inputs are 1, so Q becomes 0. Likewise, the truth table is verified. Okay. Now SR flip-flop using only NAND gates is also given here. Now SR flip-flop can be built using NOR gates. So SR flip-flop using NOR gates is shown in the truth table. So we see from the truth table that when S and R are different, output follows the S input in both the cases. However, for NAND gate SR flip-flop 0 0 is forbidden condition, whereas for NOR gate SR flip-flop 1 1 is the forbidden condition. Now we will see what happens when clock is introduced in the flip-flop. It is known as a clocked SR flip-flop. In a sequential circuit, it is required to set or reset the flip-flop in synchronism with the clock pulses. This is achieved in clocked SR flip-flop. The SR flip-flop is modified to clocked SR flip-flop by changing N3 and N4 to two input NAND gates and by applying the clock pulses simultaneously to N3 and N4. So clocked SR flip-flop look like this. Okay, clock is given at the input of S and R, N3 and N4, and the logic symbol of clock flip-flop is look like this. CK is introduced, and here 1 1 forbidden, 0 0 QN initial state. Okay, if the clock pulse is absent, CK is 0, whatever may be the S and R outputs of N3 and N4 are 1. If Q is 1, it remains 1, whereas if Q is 0, it remains 0. The flip-flop does not change the state. The circuit is equivalent to a latch. If the clock pulse is present, CK is 1. If S is 0, R is 0, then output of N3 and N4 are 1 and output of flip-flop does not change. Hence, after the pulse, output remains same as before the pulse. If we denote the inputs S and Rn before the pulse, then output after the pulse is Qn plus 1 is equal to Qn, and this is indicated in the first row of the truth table. If Ck is 1, Sn is 1, Rn is 0, then output of N3 is 0. Output of N4 is 1, which makes Q is 1. Hence, after the clock pulse, we find Qn plus 1 is equal to 1. Okay. So, we will get like this. So, in practice, whenever N1 input and N2 input rises faster from 0 to 1, and depending upon the open circuit parameter, asymmetries, either the state Q is equal to 0 and Q is 1 is obtained. This state is said to be indeterminate, ambiguous and undefined, and this condition S and R is 1 is forbidden and should not be applied. This ambiguity present in the truth table is overcome in JK flip-flop. So what is JK flip-flop? The JK flip-flop can be obtained from SR flip-flop along with two AND gates G1 and G2 and the data inputs 1 and output Q bar are applied to G1. Since its output generates S, then S is equal to JQ bar. Okay. So similar data inputs K and output Q are applied to G2, and hence R is equal to K into Q. Since SR flip-flops converted to JK and its truth table, this is given in the following diagram. Okay, so this is a JK flip-flop, G1 with J into Q bar and G2 with Q into K, and clock is connected. So this is the output. You just see when J is 0 0, output is previous state. When J is 1, output is 1. When J is 0, output is 0. And when J and K are 1 1, output is Qn bar. That means there is some output. The forbidden state is here is removed by using this introduction of a initial gates. Okay. So for J and K inputs there are 4 possibilities. At the same time there are 2 possible states for uh, Q, which generates 8 possibilities. So the following table with 8 rows of J, K, Q and Qn, the Sn and R are calculated and enter into 56 columns of the table. So this is a flip-flop, JK flip-flops. Okay. So we see that the first 3 rows JK flip-flops truth table are same as that of SR flip-flop. When the data input JK are high, the output gets complemented by the clock pulse. So in case of SR flip-flop, we cannot apply S is equal to 1, R is equal to 1. But in case of JK flip-flop, we can apply J is equal to and K is equal to 1. So this is the difference between JK and SR flip-flop. Now we will see JK flip-flop with only NAND gates. JK flip-flop which uses AND gates. However, we can also obtain JK flip-flop using NAND gates. So JK flip-flop using NAND gates, N1 and N2 are the 2 input NAND gates, whereas N3 and N4 are 3 input NAND gates. If J is 0, K is 0, output of N3 and N4 are 1. Since one input of N3 and N4 is 0, if Q is 0, Q bar is 1. For N2, one input is 0, so its output remains 1, and for N1, both inputs are 1. So gives same output 0 as assumed. Thus output remains in the previous state. Okay, so this is a JK flip-flop using only NAND gates. So you will get, thus for all possible values of J and K, the circuit follows the same truth table of JK flip-flop. Now we are going to introduce preset and clear. In case of JK flip-flop, when J is 1 and K is 1, the clock is applied, output becomes complement of previous state, but the previous state is arbitrary. It may be 0 or 1. So it is possible to assign initial state to the flip-flop. We can clear the flip-flop or set the flip-flop by addition of 2 or more inputs to the flip-flop, known as preset and clear. If NAND gates N1 and N2 are converted into 3 inputs as shown, we can assign initial state to the flip-flop. If we want to clear the flip-flop, apply PR is equal to 1, CR is equal to 0 and clock is equal to 0. Since CR is 0 and output of N2 is Q bar is equal to 1, since clock is 0, the output of N3 is 1, and hence all inputs to N1 are 1, which gives Q is equal to 0 as required. So this is a PR and CR introduced with N1 and N2. You can use this for set the output Q as per your wish. Okay. If PR is 1, Q is 1. If CR is 1, Q is 0. Clear and preset. So this is a logic symbol with JK flip-flop with preset and clear. Similarly, if we want to preset the latch or flip-flop, apply PR is equal to 0 and CR is equal to 1, say clock is 0. The preset and clear inputs are called direct and asynchronous inputs, since they are not in synchronous with the clock and may be applied before the clock or in between the clock pulses. Once the state to the flip-flop is assigned, PR is 1, CR is 1, must be maintained, that is for normal operation of the flip-flop. PR is equal to 0 and CR is equal to 0 must not be used, since it leads to ambiguous state at the output. So it summarizes the operation of preset and clear inputs. When clock is 0, CR is 0, PR is 1, it clears the flip-flop. When clock is 0, CR is 1, PR is 0, it sets the flip-flop. When clock is 1, clear is 1, preset is 1, it for normal operation. When clock is don't care, CR is 0, PR is 0, it is not allowed. So today we will stop here. In next lecture we will see about the race around condition in JK flip-flop and how it can be removed. Okay. So thank you.